Hey guys and girls, and welcome back to my new, not new, it's not new, my recent latest podcast, whatever the hell you want to call it. That's out now. So yeah, I've been away for a while, and this podcast is probably going to be, it's quite late in comparison to the last one. The last ever podcast I did was 3 months ago, which was number 6. So I do apologise for that, but in all honesty, I have struggled to find what to talk about. So that's where I've been struggling. But we have the Monaco Grand Prix this weekend, which is great and well worth looking forward to. So that will be good, some good fun. So I'm just going to talk about the Monaco preview, my thoughts on the Grand Prix. I think that it will be interesting to see how Mercedes will do. Will the gap be closer to everyone else, or will it be bigger? I personally feel that Lewis will win the Grand Prix this weekend at Monaco. I think he will dominate it, although at the same time it wouldn't surprise me if Nico Rosberg was there to nick a win and dominate the Grand Prix just as well. But nonetheless, I would put my money on Lewis Hamilton. But there is also the question of, will Red Bull be closer? Because there is no straight line. Well, you can't really sort of max out your top speed advantage if you have a Mercedes engine. So Red Bull could be a lot closer with their good chassis car this weekend. So that would be good to see whether they will be getting closer or not. So that's something to look forward to. Well, I personally feel that Red Bull will make a big step closer forward towards Mercedes, and they might even be challenging them, say, through practice and qualifying and the race. But teams like Ferrari, I don't think so. Who else is there? Lotus. Lotus are making good steps forward. That's something I should talk about, which I'll talk about later. But otherwise, I don't really think there will be any other sort of other teams making big steps forward other than Red Bull. As for Ferrari, I don't think so. Renault, Lotus, whatever you want to call them, don't think so. And Force India, I don't really think so. If anything, I think Force India will fall back because I don't think they have the big budget and resources to keep up the pace that they have at the moment. But you never know. Oh, and of course, completely forgot about McLaren. I don't think McLaren will be close either. Although they had a good start in Australia, it's gone all a bit pear-shaped. So, I think they will be going backwards as well. So, if you're a McLaren fan, don't get your hopes up, is what I'm gonna say about the Monaco Grand Prix. I think there will also, my third thought on the Monaco Grand Prix this weekend will be there will be a few more crashes, I think, with the new torque that they have now. Cars will be clipping the barrier a bit more, especially through Tabak. Is it Tabak, the fast left-hander that leads into the swimming pool section, where Lewis Hamilton had his incident in 2008? We'll see incidents there, I believe. That's what I think. Along maybe out the final corner and the final 2 corners as well. So it will be a lot tougher for drivers to get around. We will see them clipping the barriers more, I would guess, especially the rookies or people who will struggle under the hot lap conditions. So that will be another thing to take under consideration. Now, moving on, I want to talk about Ricciardo's absolutely sterling start. Obviously, he's done well. He scored technically, he scored his first podium in Spain, but I still think he got his podium in Australia, which was justifiable, to be honest, but because of FIA stupid rules and pointless rules, it was taken away from him. So, nonetheless, we could see that Ricciardo is doing very well so far. He is beating Vettel quite well, although I don't think Vettel has quite settled into the new sport, onto the new car quite so well. But nonetheless, he's done well. He's done very well. But the important thing is now for Ricciardo is to finish it off. So we've only got to Spain so far. He really needs to keep up and maintain his position in front of Vettel all the way to the end of the season, rather than just say, oh well, I had a good start of the season. That's not going to be good enough. So let's see if he can complete that. That is going to be the real challenge for him if he wants to prove himself better than Vettel and to be number one driver. I also saw on the internet on Autosport this week that Lotus think they might lose Grosjean. I think Lotus could quite easily lose both drivers, both for two completely different reasons. Whilst I still don't personally rate Grosjean, he's come on a long way, and I can't deny him that. So there's no reason why a team wouldn't want him. Although I can't quite think of a team that would take him other than maybe Sauber. But do I think they could lose him? Probably if Sauber want him. But then again, if he went to Sauber, he'd be taking a step backwards in his career. Along with that, he hasn't really got anywhere else to go. And then we've got Maldonado in the other Lotus, who I think will be gone by the end of the season if he keeps up what he's been doing so far. They simply cannot afford to have a driver like that just crashing all the time. And personally, I think he should have gone a long time ago. And I mean a really long time ago. So we will see. But I think I would bet that Maldonado will be gone by the end of the season and replaced by someone else, hopefully by Di Resta, who I am currently missing from F1. So if Di Resta is watching this, please get back in F1. I know I might make that sound easy, but he's a well justified driver that deserves to be in there, and it sort of annoys me that everyone brown noses Hulkenberg so much. Yet Di Resta has accomplished just the same amount of achievements in the sport. So they both finished fourth, some good qualities there and here and there and whatnot, and good solid points finish and really good progress. So yeah, I think Di Resta should still be in the sport, but that's the problem with F1 these days. It's no more sportsmanship. It's all about being corporate and making your drivers look like postcards and business cards, which is rather disappointing. So yeah, that's something that F1 lacks these days, is sportsmanship. Which brings me on to my idea of showing sportsmanship for the Silverstone Grand Prix. Personally, I know that McLaren have been trying to sell a few pink t-shirts and shirts and whatnot for the Silverstone Grand Prix, but if you are listening to this and you are going to the Silverstone Grand Prix, I genuinely think everyone should try and wear pink. Doesn't matter what nation you're from or who you support. It would be some really nice touch to the sport, especially for drivers as well, if they show some sportsmanship towards Jenson Button's loss of his father. But there doesn't need to be logic behind that. You just need to show signs of that you all. Oh, I can't get my words right at the moment. I'm trying to think of the word, but I can't think of it at the moment. But anyway, my point is, wear pink and be nice. So moving on, the last thing I missed out on when I was talking about Lotus. I did want to before I finish. I did want to do a shout out for Lotus because they have done quite well in the Spanish Grand Prix, and they've taken some big steps forward. So hopefully Lotus will be making further steps forward in Monaco, and we could be seeing them return to fighting form. Anyway, that's the end of this podcast. It's not very long, but genuinely, I haven't had any sort of topics lately to talk about or to discuss or offer my opinion or logic to that I could rant on about for quite a while. So this might not be enjoyable except from the bit I talked about Jitsu buttons and wearing pink for Silverstone would be a good nice touch. So anyway, I'll see you later, people. Bye.